Hey everyone, I'm Andres here, and I'm gonna do my first review right now. I'm going to be reviewing Micro by Jinjer, and this is my first recorded review, so if the quality isn't the greatest or the audio isn't the greatest, then I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the video quality up, but okay. I kind of want to talk about why Micro by Jinjer is a little bit of a weird release for Jinjer. Okay, Jinjer have been a band that exploded over the last year. Like, Pisces, their most famous song, you could call it, is now up in the tens of millions of views in YouTube, which is insane for a band that only has 2 records out. 3 now if you count the EP. So, Micro, why was it weird? First off, they released Ape a few months earlier before they released Micro with, some great expectations. After King of Everything, everyone was kind of like hyped because we knew that Jinjer had some pretty good stuff in them, and we basically hoped that they could take that out, and release it to the public. And Ape kind of was a banger, it's amazing. It's possibly their best song so far, and I think many people will agree with me on this. I think even when Perennial was released, which was like 3 days before the EP was released, I think everyone kind of was still really hyped because everything up until that point, Dreadful Moments, Ape, and Perennial, were really great songs and everyone was so hyped about them. But then the EP was released and you realize it's 20 minutes long. It's actually 20 minutes long. Now, why do I have a problem with this? If the EP is 3/5, great. I have, because of exactly that, I know that Jinjer have it in them to make a great record, a great EP even. With King of Everything and Outlander, and Cloud Factory, if you take those two and you mix them together, you get a great album, but you also get a okay album. It's not the greatest. And that's what I was afraid with Micro, that it would just kind of show the lamer side to Jinjer, and it did to some extent. Now, let's break it down a little bit. The lyrics are amazing. I mean, I'm of the people who think that lyrics don't really matter too much in music now, but these lyrics are really fucking great. Like, they're amazing, and Ape specifically has amazing lyrics, especially if, maybe you won't understand them, but if you're reading as you hear, you're like, fuck, she knows how to write, right? And I think that really speaks leagues to where they're going to be, and also the themes that they're touching on are amazing. Like, not amazing, obviously the theme itself is just something that a band with 2 records would not ever think of doing, and they're doing it, which is, it's really impressive, to say the least. Now, we have Ape, Dreadful Moments, Teacher, then we have Perennial and Micro, right? What do I think of Ape? Ape is great. I think that song is probably a 9 out of 10. Okay. Dreadful Moments, maybe a 7 out of 10. I'm not the biggest fan of the vocals in the middle of Dreadful Moments. Still, it's great. Teacher is where I kind of draw the line between great and just okay. It's just average. See, Teacher just takes everything that's been done before by them, when it was done kind of poorly to some extent, and they do it again, right? The lyrics are kind of stupid in that song, even though what they're trying to convey is good. Like, what they're trying to convey even reminds me a little bit of Killing in the Name Of by Rage Against the Machine, but obviously Rage did it leagues better. Now, we get to Perennial, which is a good song. I'd say it's around a 7, maybe. I'm not even sure if a 7. And then we get Micro, which is just kind of laughable in the position that it is. Like, I'm not trying to say that they're bad musicians, because the melody is amazing, and obviously the the playing is really great, and they are really great musicians, but simply it lacks something. You know, you can't put Micro at the end of your EP where you started off with Ape. It's just not possible, I think. And the fact that this release had 3 songs released before, like 3 songs of the 5 in this album were released before it was even released. I think it was one of the worst ideas they could have had. It just kind of, the hype just kind of died down when you get to teacher. You're like expecting like something even better maybe than Perennial, you know, because you're thinking maybe the album just goes like this and then you get a banger at Micro, but that's not how it goes. The album starts at the peak with Ape, then it just starts to die down a little bit, little by little, you know. You get Ape, dies down a little bit to Dreadful Moments, then Teacher I say is the worst song, actual song in the EP. Then you get Perennial, which is, it's okay, as I said, and then you get Micro, which is a 2-minute, what feels like an intro track, but it's in the back of the album, which was just weird. I just really didn't know what to think. Like, whenever Micro starts, you're like, okay, I could fuck with this, you know. If you're doing something else, you're kind of stop. You're like, okay, I can listen to this thoroughly. And then it goes nowhere. It just goes nowhere, you know, and it feels weird. It's like you need more Jinjer. Like, I don't think 20 minutes is enough, and I hope they release more music soon, because I mean, I still like the band a lot, and they've released some great songs. Outlander from Cloud Factory, Pisces, and some others are some of the best modern metal I've heard. Even Ape, Dreadful Moments, but just overall, it's not that great. Not as great as I expected it to be, especially when I was so hyped for it, because they're a band that I basically knew for like 2 months, maybe if even 2 months before they released Micro, and I was like, fuck yeah, I got into this band at the right time. But it seems like maybe I got into the band at a weirder kind of time, you know. I know they're touring right now, and maybe that's why they cut short the EP or something. I'm not sure. Maybe their next album will be absolutely amazing. I'll still give them the benefit of the doubt. This doesn't mean that Jinjer is like a really bad band or something. Now, I know it's kind of weird that my review is negative. My first review is negative on YouTube, but it's just kind of a stream of consciousness that I've had for a while, and I wanted to talk about it because I feel it's very important. Everyone is saying that, oh, Micro's the best thing anyone's ever released in the last 10 years, and you're like, calm down. You know, it's not that great. It's good. I'll still give it, say, a 7.5 because it still has Ape, which fucking, it's insanely good. It's amazing. But it has just flops. It's a little bit of a flop, if I must be honest. Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts about Micro. I still like it. I'm still listening to it. I've listened to it for about like 7 times now, because I do think some of the parts are catchy, and when I'm listening to it, I'm like, okay, I'll bear this part, but I'll get to a really good part later. And I think one that's not a great way to listen to an album, but still I'm listening to it and seeing if I can find actual something great in the songs. But it just so happens that I haven't found anything that's great in Teacher, and I haven't found anything that really stands out in Perennial. I haven't found myself listening the whole way through to Micro, at least after the first time, you know. And that's kind of sad, because Jinjer is a great fucking band, and Tatiana is a great vocalist. But yeah, those are my thoughts on micro. I'll see if I can have a cover up in a few days maybe. I'm working on a Pliny cover, so you know that's fucking hard. Uh, I'll see if I get it. Otherwise, it'll be up in like the next 2 weeks or something. I'll try to keep the momentum going with the reviews and stuff. I'll try to get the quality a little bit better. But that's all for now. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment if you would like. If there's anything you disagree with, if there's anything that you want to comment on, if there's anything that maybe you thought I'm being stupid because I'm not really understanding what's going on with micro, go ahead, leave it in the comments. I'm happy to answer. So yeah, that's it. I hope you all have a great day, and thank you so much for